The strategies and concepts discussed are for educational purposes only and do not represent specific investment, tax, or estate planning advice. Investing carries an inherent element of risk, and it is possible to lose principal and interest when investing in securities. No strategy can guarantee a profit or prevent against a loss. The views expressed represent the personal opinions of the presenter or the featured guests, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Any opinions or forecasting statements are subject to change at any time and without notice. John Cyndia is an investment advisor representative of, and advisory services are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Life Stages Advisory, Dean, and Remington are not affiliated with USA Financial Securities. Welcome to episode 55 of Wealth, Tax, and Finances. I'm your host, John Cyndia, certified public accountant and personal financial specialist. Joining me today in the studio.
The same people as always.
Yes,
yeah.
Remington and Dean.
Soon,
yeah, that's right. What I want you to be aware of is our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio areas.
Basically wherever you get your podcast audio from.
Yes, that's it. See, the geeks know what to say. I just don't. But what we want you to do is make sure you hit or turn on the notification bell, like us, subscribe, and share this with other people you know that are in your circle, okay? What we want to talk about today are a couple different things. The first one is, what is pump and dump? With the market going crazy and all-time highs over the last month or two, lots of other small cap, penny stocks, very small stocks that you would normally try to jump on that would be very cheap in expectation of making a killing on. And what you have to watch out for are these boiler room type deals. If you ever watched Wolf of Wall Street and got Jordan Belfort was the one who started that in the 90s, and they get these boiler rooms and they start talking up positive things about stocks you never heard of, and everything, and it's always positive. There's never a bad thing about it. They want you to buy a bunch of money, or a bunch of stock shares with a lot of money, and as they get the word out, the stock goes up, and it's really worthless. I wanted to say a piece of crap, but I don't want to say that.
But in the movie, though, like the example that they used was like some big tech company that was on the up and up and was going to be the next big thing, was just some dude making like little model planes in his garage.
Oh,
they made it seem like he was going to make the next smart car or something.
Well, it was the same thing as like in the 2000s. They always talked about people having the next or the coolest black box situation. We can't tell you what it is because we'd have to kill you and all that stuff. And it's in this box and it's got all this secret stuff in it. And there was nothing to it. There was also, I remember one that said that they had a new solar box that it would end up.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. It was something. All it was a cardboard box with some
some string and some scrap wires.
Exactly, it was goofy wires and screen and stuff like that. And they were making, getting millions of dollars in here, and everybody got really screwed on that one. But what they'll do is just generate all these profits for themselves, and it's actually worthless. And once the price goes up, they'll sell the stock shares and they make their money, and then it goes down and everybody else loses theirs. So because of things like that happening, it's just a constant phone calls, relentless badgering, either on the internet, through emails, on phone calls, anything else that you have from an internet source or whatever. You're going to see it everywhere, and they're going to flood everything. And it gets everybody excited, and you're always going to have emails coming into your email location and everything. And you start reading them, you get excited, you start talking to other people, and everybody's hearing about it, and everybody jumps onto this stuff. And with all of the internet the new broker dealers and stuff that are on, that you can buy shares of stock for pennies on the dollar, and transactions and fractional shares and everything else going on. It makes it a lot easier to actually buy into one of these scams and everything. And
You don't have
actually
to have a crazy account or an understanding of the financial market. You can just download.
You can do it on your phone.
Whatever app you want. And
Yeah.
it's very simple.
I just downloaded an app while we were setting up for the episode, and I'm already looking forward.
Are you
to
up 50,000%?
Oh no, I haven't done anything yet, but I'm already.
Well,
hopefully getting
unfortunately,
there.
John, we do record on a Saturday, so
Yeah, that's the only.
we won't know until Monday.
Oh, you're not doing the overseas or anything
Oh,
like
no.
that?
Not yet.
If
If that
trading
was-
in Japan right
Yeah,
now.
I was going to say.
I'll get
So-
there though.
So be doubly aware of the Japanese trade on a Saturday afternoon. Like I was saying, some of the tips to avoid pump and dump. Be wary when unknown sources flood you with information. Like I say, through your emails, press releases, promotional materials. They could be sending blogs or newsletters. Check the age of the company. A lot of these are new startups. A lot of those happened in 98, 99, 2000, leading up to the original tech wreck. There was companies that were just overnight were up 200, 300, 400% as soon as they have their IPO and go public. So you also have to watch most of these small penny shares. Penny shares are usually under $2 or $5 a share. And some of them are even like 10, 12 cents, a penny a share, 25 cents a share, $1 a share, whatever. They're on over-the-counter markets, so you're not going to normally see those on the NASDAQ or the Dow or the S&P or anything. So you're going to see them on over-the-counter markets and some other types of, stock trading platforms. Reverse mergers. What that is a privately held company ends up going public by merging with an existing public company. So something like that could happen. You have your stock in it, and it's a merger, but it still ends up being worthless. So the SEC usually watches a lot of this stuff, but you also have to be beware of everything, because when you're dealing with these small companies, they come and go so often and so easily that normally you've never heard of them, and you've got to do your own research on them. Know who is in charge of the company also, because a lot of times they may not even have any board members or anybody, because these are all fabricated in the back in the boiler room and stuff. So what we want to do is just sort of give you a heads up on that, and make sure you don't get caught up in it, because there's an average, they figure anywhere between $3 to $10 billion a year is lost by individuals trying to invest in a get rich quick scheme.
Make a quick buck.
Yeah, exactly. And there are tons and tons of these penny stocks. You can get those on, like I say, on the over-the-counter. You can go right on to just bring up penny stocks, and you'll find hundreds and thousands of them just on the internet. And while some of those may be legit, a lot of them are probably never going to go anywhere. And for every probably 10 or 15 that you see that actually could possibly make money, you're going to see several hundred that are going to either die on the vine or not do anything. And you'll occasionally get one that, you're going to turn out legit and probably make some money on it. But as in anything, you don't want to put everything into that. If you're playing around with these types of stocks or wanting to look at making a quick buck, make sure that whatever you're putting into it, you go into it with the idea that if you lost all of that, that it's not going to make a huge difference on your lifestyle or anything else. So you don't want to, if you have 10,000 saved up, you don't want to put it all in.
Don't bet the house on the penny stock.
Exactly. Maybe, you got 10 grand, maybe you put $500 in it. It's not going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
Some people might have only $100. Other ones might put a couple grand in, but whatever it is, just make sure that it's like going to the casino. don't plan on seeing that again. You might get a free dinner with the casino. You wouldn't even get that,
John,
with
I'm a
the,
master at blackjack.
Oh,
I
is it?
know I'm leaving with money.
We went on a cruise a while back, and they had a little mini casino there. Don't listen to him.
Don't listen to
I did very well.
Yeah. He did not. So you were able to lose that money, and it didn't bother
Let's
you.
just say I put 500 in, walked out with 0, put another 200 in, walked out with 50.
Oh,
Okay, so he was only down 650.
You do the
then. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I walked out with $50. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's...
and then he spent that $50 on drinks and
Food
snacks.
and
Yeah.
snacks and yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Okay.
well.
So basically, you lost,
I lose
but
a lot.
But
I had fun. It's fun.
Well, exactly. It's a form of entertainment.
And I think that's the same thing with some of these penny stocks or this pump and dump. Like people like build off the adrenaline and the excitement of it because it's moving so fast.
Exactly.
Going on,
So
kind of steering away from the penny stock side of this, we might have to in post add a little beep if we're not allowed to say this name. But can we mention Enron?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, because they're not a thing anymore.
Right.
But from everything I've seen and read, they were kind of doing the same thing where they would make these outrageous claims. Like they were saying they could predict they were trying to sell the weather at one point. They were like,
I remember that.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we can give you a 3-month forecast prediction.
like a legit farmer's almanac. Like they
Yeah.
actually know what's going to happen.
And they were doing crazy stuff like that. They were causing like targeted blackouts in California. Like they would because they were trying to sell the energy,
Right.
like in, like all the electric
So they would
stuff.
like black out like a section of somewhere in California, and then they'd be like, "We told you about it 2 weeks
Well,
ago."
what they would do is
Someone's with a big lever inside the power plant going.
Yeah.
well, they would do that. They would tell like specific plants like, "Oh, you got to shut down for a little bit," and then they'd like make a big thing out of it, and they'd be like, "All right, well, you got to like put more money in," and then all of a sudden, like it would just
If you guys all would have put another $10 in,
it was just
you would have
crazy.
won.
But
Yeah.
there's outrageous claims like that. You should definitely be
Oh, yeah.
aware of. Like if it sounds too good to be true,
And they were a
Be
legitimate
cautious. Yeah.
company.
they were a big one.
And it was all the derivatives that they ended up having, and they broke down so many different things that once it collapsed, it was just, there was no getting it back.
Yeah, they on Wikipedia here they've got House of Cards in big bold letters right next to their name. So
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. So even as large, like I say, as something like that with Enron, you've got just as much on the other end of it, on the small side. So like Dean was saying, it's addictive. I think people end up getting to the point, it's just like gambling or anything else, that you have to roll the dice, you put some money into it, and you're thinking that 37 cents is going to go up to like $5 or $10 or $100
It's like
or whatever.
educated gambling.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of research. Like you walk up to just to compare it to a casino, you walk up to a slot machine. It's all digital. You pull the lever. There is no education behind that. Like
Well-
you literally, it's just a chance of luck.
Absolutely.
But with if you're doing investing,
there's some research.
There is some research and there is some education behind it, especially if a company is making moves and trying to grow their company. It makes sense in that way. But
there again, you got to keep the emotion out of it.
right,
And getting all excited and doing all this other stuff is not keeping the emotion out. So once you're doing it from a fundamental area and you're doing the research and everything, all you can do is say, everything looks good and you got research papers, you've done your own, background on it and everything. And once you find that, then, usually you should be in pretty good shape. I think this is the end of the episode. Like I said in the beginning here, leave your comments, turn on the notification bell. Like us. I have to read this because
He's learning. He's gonna get it.
all of
leave
these
a comment,
things.
turn on the notification bell,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
hit
want
that
to hear from
subscribe
you.
button.
We've actually gotten a lot of comments on the YouTube page in the last couple of my mic. We've gotten a lot of comments in the last couple of episodes we've posted. So keep that coming.
Yes, we're really polished here, aren't we?
We are professionals.
Yeah. This is what it really looks like.
That's right.
Uh,
It may not be pretty, but hopefully it's effective, right?
oh, yeah. It's getting there.
Till next time, thanks a lot. See ya.